Hey guys, welcome to Made for Two. I am Topless Baker, and today we are going to make an amazing chocolate tart with meringue kisses. It's one of those desserts where if you really want to impress somebody, but you don't actually want to put that much effort in, this is the one because it's super tasty and it looks unbelievable. So we're going to start with our pastry, which in my opinion is probably the greatest pastry on the earth. I promise you, you'll never need another pastry recipe in your life. So I've got all my dry ingredients in a mixer with some really cold butter. And we're going to mix that on a low-medium speed until it resembles breadcrumbs. And then once it resembles breadcrumbs, drop in an egg yolk until that dough pulls together. Once that dough has come together, we're going to tip it out onto our work surface and we're just going to flatten it into a little bit of a disc. So just use your hands just to work that together really gently. You just want to work it into a little bit of a disc, get all that dough off the work surface. And now, once you've got that, what we're going to do is we're going to wrap this in some cling film, pop it in the fridge for about an hour. You can make it the night before, it makes your life a little bit easier, but we'll pop this guy in the fridge and then we'll get on with something else. So now that your pastry is chilling in the fridge, this is the perfect time to get on with your little meringue kisses. But we're going to make fancy meringue kisses that have a little bit of pink in them. So in my stand mixer, I've got some egg whites. I'm going to throw this up and then we're going to whisk it until it gets a little bit foamy on a low speed, and then increase the speed to high and just add a teaspoon of sugar at a time until you have really thick, stiff, glossy peaks. So once you've got really nice, stiff, glossy peaks, what we're going to do is we're going to pimp up our meringues so they look super duper fancy. So what I've got here is a toothpick and I've dipped it in some pink food colouring in a piping bag, which I've got a round nozzle on, which you see my elbow, not the nozzle. But I'm going to take this toothpick and I'm going to run it along the inside of the piping bag, just wiping that pink food colouring along two of the edges. And then we're going to scoop up this meringue with a spatula and scrape it into our piping bag, filling it up to the top. And then just pipe little dollops all along your baking mat in any shape or size that you want. Once you're done piping, you should be left with these beautiful little pink kisses. And what we're going to do is we're going to pop them in the oven. We're going to bake them for about 40 minutes and then we're going to turn the oven off, let them cool for 20 minutes and then we'll take them out. So I've taken my chilled dough out of the fridge and what we're going to do now is we're going to roll it out. But the key here is to flour everything because we don't want this to stick. So I'm going to flour the dough, I'm going to flour the table, I'm going to flour my face, flour everything just because you don't want it to stick. And then I'm going to take a wooden rolling pin and I'm going to roll this until it's about that thin, which you probably can't see, but that thin. So you just want to roll back and forth, turn it 90 degrees, roll back and forth, turn it 90 degrees and do that again, and don't worry about the shape. If it's an ugly shape, don't panic because we're just going to cut it out anyway. So this is the perfect thickness now, and what we're going to do is we're going to cut out kind of rough circles and we're going to lay them over some mini tart tins that we have. So you're now left with two lovely lined tart tins, and what you're going to do is you're going to put them in the fridge for 20 minutes. Then we're going to blind bake them for 15 minutes, remove those baking beans, egg wash it, bake for another 5 minutes, and you'll be left with a perfectly golden pastry case. So we've got lovely baked tart shells here, and now we need to get on with the delicious chocolate filling, which is super duper easy. So I've got chocolate butter, cream, and a little bit of sugar in a bowl, and I'm going to put that over a bain-marie, and we're just going to melt that, stir it together. Once it's all melted, pour it into your tart shells, and then we're going to put it in the fridge to chill for about 40 minutes. Our chocolate tarts are out the fridge, our meringues are cooked, and now all we've got to do is bring this beautiful thing together. So you can decorate any way you want. You could put them in a random pattern, you can put them in a circle, whatever. I'm just going to dot some around, and then we're going to put some raspberries on, some basil leaves, and we're done. So I finished decorating them with the meringues, and because I'm feeling fancy, I'm going to use some little kitchen tweezers just to drop some raspberries and a few basil leaves on there for some colour, a little bit of flavour. You can just use your hands, though. You don't have to use these at all. We're done decorating now, and they look so pretty. I almost don't want to cut into them, but it would be rude if I did that, and I really want to slice this chocolate tart. So I'm going to take a knife, and I'm going to slice off the edge. I'm going to keep the meringues intact, and then, oh my goodness, you've got this dense, rich, chocolatey ganache in the middle. I'm going to have a bite. What sweet pastry. Rich chocolate. Oh, yes, I love it. All right, guys, there you go. The perfect chocolate tart made for two, and you've got that beautiful little meringue kisses hack on top, which is fantastic, and I know you are gonna love making it.